vergehen. Nur nicht heute oder morgen.
And I forgot how to do it. So eventually, I was like doing all sorts of shit, and I was getting upset. So I was like, you know when you get upset and you start doing things you normally do, but do them more forcefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was doing them more forcefully, and I ended up dropping the iPod down a flight of stairs. And it was this song. It was this song I was trying to replay.
Oh God.
Oh.
I got upset. And I dropped the iPod, and I was like, fuck. So my mom later got me one of those iPod, those weird iPods that, like, they don't have a screen, but they just have a bunch of
iPod Nano?
on them.
Yeah,
whatever it was called. It has a bunch of music on it. Yeah, so it's, like, more compact. It was, like, a little square that you could put in your palm or whatever. You could have, like, a little clip so you could put it on your pants. That's how I got my first iPod.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because of this song. And I never heard this song again until I got a smartphone. And that was about 10 years later. And I haven't heard this song till now. So, I was 6, 14. I haven't heard this song in 3 years. But I have a bunch of history with this song. It's such a good song.
Damn.
And I'm broken. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me actually start the song.
Oh, God, please.
I kept your photograph, and I know it serves me well. I wanna hold you high and steal your pain with a broken.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Okay.
Bro, my parents are gonna kill me. Please stop. Oh my God. That is too much.
My ears are bleeding now. My ears.
Forget y'all. I'll enjoy the song by myself. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, do that.
Please don't.
No, I'm still listening.
Let's see. Oh my God. Hold on.
I'm singing terrible now, but I know how to actually sing.
It's okay. Give me a sec, bro. Hold on.
All
right.
I'm yelling.
Here we go. The call was messed up for a second. Hold on.
Yeah, I accidentally left. Alright, so this whole thing is going to be you yelling.
I mean, I'm waiting for y'all. In the meantime, I have to create content, don't I?
Well, we're waiting for you to be done. I'm ready to start about the music I listen to.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Exactly.
Okay, alright, fine. Then just.
Alright, then shut your mouth.
No.
Alright, so let's see. My mom put me on. Hold on, my mom put me on a lot of music, and my dad. My dad put me on. My dad put me on Big Pun. My mom. Oh my God. Oh no. Dude, please watch what you say, man. Yo, Big Pun is a man that literally defines the Bronx. If you
Rebel the Bronx.
Let's see. Oh my, sorry, no. Sorry, it's just after what Gabe said. I was just after what Gabe said. I was just like, huh, interesting. But my mom put me on Outkast. She also put me on Nas's song Ether, which I'm sure you guys already know that by now.
I heard it just not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, yo.
And it sucks for me because I wasn't too keen on Jay's and Nas's beef, so every line I wasn't really understanding. Oh wow.
Dude, to give you an idea, Gabe, you've heard Nas's Ether before, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
To give you an idea,
it's on Stillmatic. Go listen to Stillmatic. It's on there.
I don't think so.
To give you an idea of how brutal the song is, at least towards Jay-Z in a lyrical standpoint. The song literally starts with "fuck Jay-Z."
Oh wow!
Did you call him Jay-Z?
wonder who he's talking about.
What?
Oh, let's not even mention that he called him Jay-Z.
And that's look. I think I remember the lines. And that's when this Gazy and Cockefeller Records made me start cocking back my weapon.
Yo.
He's like, you 33,
like,
you 30, you 33 in a karate class.
Oh yeah, I remember that line.
Yeah.
That was a pretty decent one.
Let's see, what was another one? It's like, I remember these years ago, these guys were bullying you. I didn't even give you my numbers, and you still. I forgot. I know it was something like that, but he pretty much said how he apparently knew Jay-Z from the projects, and he felt like an older brother to him, or like a father seeing his son grow, and that he's slowly getting like disappointed. And he's like, bro, you still found a way to call me to talk about the people bullying you. I didn't even give you my phone number. Like,
yeah, I remember some of that. Yeah,
like
that
what
was
made it
pretty-
so
that was pretty-
brutal? Yeah, what made it so brutal was that Nas was treating it like if it was just nothing but playground insults. So it was just like,
Bro, that was.
what is this?
Hold on. I need a second.
The fact that it wasn't all intense, the fact that it wasn't that intense was what made it so intense.
It's like Eminem's disses against cannabis.
Cannabis.
Without cannabis.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that song was great.
Whatever happened to that style that you've been rapping with? Anyone like that? I only know that chorus. I haven't heard the full song yet.
The whole song is good.
There was the warning. There was Jesus Christ.
What was that? Was the warning the one
even
against
like Killshot? Even the warning. No, the warning was him. Was him against
Mariah?
Benzino.
Oh, okay. What was the one against Mariah?
No. Wait. No, the warning was.
Sorry, I'm hearing the spread of false information. The warning was about Nick Cannon and Mariah.
Yeah, Nick Cannon.
Okay,
Mariah.
yeah. So
The one was Benzino's. It was the what was it?
Benzino
The sauce.
have multiple. They have multiple. There's, for example, Ja Rule had what's that song called? Haley's Revenge.
Haley's Revenge. Dude,
It
that
had
opening line was so good.
Go to Sleep was for Benzino and Ja Rule.
Wait, wasn't the one called The Sauce?
The sauce. Remember the sauce.
the sauce.
No.
Remember this?
I'm pretty
Remember
sure that was-
Eminem's song "The Sauce"?
I'm pretty
That's a weird name for him.
That sounds like more like a Tyler the Creator song. Like, I put the sauce on my burger.
Benzino, and Benzino made that the title of his. Yeah, The Sauce. I found it right here.
I never heard this song before.
He had The Sauce and Nailed the Coffin aimed at Benzino.
Mm-hmm.
And then Benzino made his magazine, whatever, called The Sauce. And that's that.
Benzino blocked me on Twitter for saying he has PTSD from this. I love comments, bro. It says on the comments, it says Dragon TZ from 3 years ago. Benzino blocked me on Twitter for saying he still has PTSD from this.
Yo, you still that petty? How are you still that petty? That's like that. Like, dude, if Eminem dissed me, I'd be like, yes, diss me, please. Like, you're Eminem.
That's like Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty reacted to Eminem's diss like, oh, I'm glad you dissed me. When he went harder than that. He was happy to be dissed. I'd be happy to diss as well.
It's Eminem. Just Eminem acknowledging your presence is like, you know what I mean?
I'll put it where it's at, right? I'll put it where it's at. Here's what I'm gonna say, because I do agree that M has a lot of talent, and I'm the biggest M stan here. But I'll tell you this first.
Sure.
I'm more of a stan for the older M.
That's okay.
I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me look at the album list real quick.
Slim Shady LP, Eminem Show.
No.
I'm looking for order. Hold on.
Yeah, this is the order. This is the order. I'm telling you right now.
No. I want to look at it.
I'm telling you right now. It's Infinite, the Slim Shady LP, Marshmallows LP, Eminem Show, Encore, Relapse.
No.
Relapse was pretty good.
You're not helping me here. Hold on.
I am helping you.
No, you're not. Hold on. This is not helping me. Because I have to see the physical albums. Well, not that physical, but I have to see the albums, even though they're not in order. Hold on. Oh, there you go.
They were in order.
First. No, I have to see them. You are not listening. I have to see them to remember the songs that are on them, you tard.
Oh. Jeez. How do you not know what the cover arts are?
No, I have to see the cover art so that I can recognize, I feel a certain way towards this album. I feel a different way to this album. Tú no oyes. ¿Tú crees que sabe todo? Like, shut the fuck up, bro. I want to say...
remember? I think I said this once before. You asked me which Eminem album I like the most. I said Recovery at first. I'm changing it to the Marshmallows LP. That's my new favorite.
That's a better answer. Because don't get me wrong, Recovery is nice. It has a couple good songs, but it's not real. It's not the M I like. You know, I like to say that M evolves or de-evolves depending on how you look at it.
You could say devolves.
Changes. No, I'm gonna say it depends how you look at it, because I see it as a sort of de-evolution compared to what I like in Eminem. But regardless, I still respect M. I'm gonna say everything.
If you were to ask me if I would prefer old or new, I would say old. Like the on Eminem was clearly the best version, but I would still go back and listen to some of the new Eminem, like Dark.
I'm gonna say
Godzilla and stuff like that.
Between Recovery and Relapse, he changed. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a straight transition, but for me, I like Relapse more than Recovery, and anything that comes after Recovery, except for maybe the Marshall Mathers OP2. That was an exception. But
maybe.
From Recovery on, it's not the M that I like. I like Relapse and before. That means Encore, Relapse, what's it called? The Eminem Show.
Encore was one of my favorites.
All of that. I like that more. Because that's the M that I like. Now,
Encore and Revival, those are my two least favorites off the Eminem discography.
Yeah. For me personally, after Revival and on, M changed because I personally feel as if after that, not including the Marshall Mathers LP2, that's the only exception. I really like that. After Recovery, there was a great change in M in terms of his content. Now, he will always be an amazing rapper. He'll always rhyme better than 90% of rappers. But when it comes to the content in which he produces, he doesn't do it the same. Not the same, because I wouldn't even want it the same. It's not the same feeling when you hear it. Like, for example, when you listen to things like Kamikaze and Revival, they don't have as much content and substance as the Marshall Mathers LP, the Slim Shady LP, the Eminem Show. Because those albums that came later, M was already like 20 years into his career. He's been rapping for what? Let me see. He started Infinite was 1996, 2024. He's been around for 24 years. I'm not saying that he has to rap. I'm not saying he's always going to have content. But regardless, you notice it. And that's the issue. Is that I'm noticing that he doesn't have, not that he doesn't have shit to talk about, but it's not the same. Music to Be Murdered By is another exception, because I feel like he's testing things out there. It actually turned out very well. Kamikaze and Revival show that he doesn't really have it.
I don't really understand the hate for
issues.
Music to Be Murdered By. Music to Be Murdered By, was pretty good, I can't lie. And I immediately think of yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a good song. That's a very good song, though.
Compared to
this, Be Murdered By, I immediately think of Darkness, because that's the most favorite one.
I think
the whole album, Darkness.
That's what, in terms of the other two, the two before Music to Be Murdered By and Recovery, not including all the EPs, because I haven't listened to the EPs by themselves. I'm not including those. Yeah, he has several EPs. Like, for example, right before he made Revival, 3 years before, his last project was called New Jack's EP. I haven't listened to it. But, I don't know if he produced it. I don't know if he helped produce it. Let me see real quick. He rapped on it. But regardless, I haven't listened to those. And it obviously hasn't caught much attention because I had never heard of it. You know, he has several. He has like Dreaming Gold, Trailer Park Celebrity, Radioactive. Like, I haven't heard of any of this shit, but they're EPs. And to me, you know, I'm just taking into account the albums. Kamikaze and Revival, the two out of the latest three, have shown me, and Recovery to some extent, those two have shown me that M is losing touch. Because if we're familiar with M's lifestyle, he's a very introverted guy. You know, he's not the same guy that he used to be in, you know, early 2000s, where he was making hit after hit after hit. Now, it's like, we'll be lucky if we get 2 hits from his albums. Think about it. In Music to Be Murdered By, we got Darkness, which did okay, and then we got Godzilla, which was a hit.
Yeah.
But then we have Kamikaze, where we only had the Joyner Lucas hit, and that was kind of No, Joyner Lucas was in it, yeah. And then we have Revival. You know, we go back to Revival. We have, like, if you want to call it a semi-hit.
River?
Yeah, you can call it a semi-hit with River. Granted, all of these albums have at least gotten platinum. But I blame that more on Eminem's popularity rather than how he's entertained people. You know, everyone knows the name Eminem, so everyone's going to buy the album. But that doesn't mean that they're going to continuously replay it. A song or two from the album might be replayed, that's fine. But it's not going to be like when he had songs like Without Me, Slim Shady, you know, Cleaning Out My Closet. Because it's not the same audience as before. He's out of touch with the newer generation. Now, that can be a good or a bad thing. I consider it to be a bad thing. Because he's, you know, even though he's still him, he's not appealing to the masses. And so once he noticed that, and he has, you can tell, you know, through the progression of his albums, you can notice that he's like, fuck, how do I reach him? For example, he's tried to make like 2 or 3 club hits on Music to Be Murdered By. He made a couple songs, like he made one with Ed Sheeran, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because listen, Ed Sheeran's a wonderful artist, but he's not a rapper. He's not a rapper. He's not a dapper rapper.
Yeah, he should not rap. He should not rap. He should not rap.
Exactly.
He should not be rapping.
And then
like, Remember Me? He should no.
You have him on Music to Be Murdered By, and it's like you're beating a dead horse. You know, I feel like the only reason that certain songs go platinum with Ed Sheeran and M is because of M's popularity. Sheeran had that song that club song. I don't remember what it was called, but he did it.
I have it right here. It's called Those Kind of Nights.
Yeah, I've heard it. It's like, I love M's lines because they remind me of Smack That, right? They remind me of the song Smack That he made with Akon, and that was pretty good, right? I think we can all agree Smack That was a good hit. But the big issue with it is that he's talking flip-flop because Ed Sheeran is on the song. It doesn't, for me personally, it doesn't work. And I'm not a fan of it. But then you have things like Kamikaze, Revival, where it's like M fall off and it's noticeable. Music to Be Murdered By still holds some of that, but it shows progression. It shows that he's trying a little harder. That he's, you know, making contact with others in Hollywood. You know, I feel like when we listen to things like, you know, the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP. I mentioned those 3, the Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show, and Slim Shady LP, because those are my 3 favorites. That's why I mentioned them a lot.
Same.
And if anything, they're 3 of his best, unarguably. You know, there's really no argument there. Those are 3 of his best albums. No doubt. And they have a lot of replay value, not only because it's a new artist and it's, you know, his prime. It's also because that's when he was most in touch with Hollywood. That was when, you know, things were going on, and he was talking about it in his songs. Now, when he does that in Kamikaze Revival, it's kind of cringe, because he mentions artists in Kamikaze, and I'm like, who cares? Because
I listen.
Don't get me wrong,
I was sad about the Tyler the Creator diss. I was very sad about that because I thought
I was very upset about that.
That was something complicated between him and M though. That was
true. I mean, that's true. It's just
he apologized though.
No. And I'm happy about.
I'm very glad he did that.
I'm happy he did that. It was just okay. Inside joke. I love Tyler the Creator. And I'm aware that he's not the best rapper, but it's like the same reason I love Kanye West. There's times where I listen back to some Kanye lines and I'm like, yeah, I can see why certain people might not like it, but I still like it because he just had so much creativity. That's why I love Tyler. And like you said before, M saw a bit of himself in there in terms of style. You know what I mean? Like, remember when M...
I'm glad that he realized that after he made it. I'm very glad that he realized that.
Like,
the mistake that he made there.
Like, when Tyler the Creator first started in his career, you can compare his style to, like, when Eminem used to be the dude that was really edgy and he said all the weird stuff and he was on the ESPN interviews looking, like, really faded for no reason. You know what I mean?
Well, he can do that because
he's
Eminem.
Well, true, but...
You know, we can't... don't get me wrong. I think Tyler the Creator is a wonderful artist, but we can't really compare prime M. Even M now, you know, I don't think we can compare the two. Because they're on different level thing.
Yeah, no.
No. They're just in different levels.
Yeah, of course.
Even though it sounds kind of fucked up, it's like you don't compare Jay-Z to what's that guy's name? You don't compare him to like Lil Pump.
Yeah, why not?
You don't compare the two because they're on different levels. Obviously, Hov is all the way up there where you can't even see him.
Yeah, of course. He's Hov.
Even though Tyler's a wonderful artist, you can't compare him to M because he's not legend. He's not legend status. M, I put him as legend because he's one of, if not the most popular. He has to be. He is the most popular white artist out ever. And I predict, even 10 years down the line, people are still gonna know who Eminem is because it's just, even if he stops making music today, let's say today he stops making music. His music, like Without Me, Slim Shady, maybe Cleaning Out My Closet. I don't want to say that. But we have songs of his, even Not Afraid in Recovery, Rap God, Monster with Rihanna. We have a bunch of songs that are popular, not only popular for their time, but they continue on. When we think of Music to Be Murdered By, we review the albums that we've heard before and we compare instantly, whether you want to or not. You compare them to Music to Be Murdered By because you know. So let's say 10 years down the line, someone looks up a 2000s hit, like we look up 90s or 80s hits. Eminem is there. He's a guaranteed spot because of Without Me. Instantly, he's already up there. He's in the decade. He's not a part of it. He's in it. So when you have someone who's that popular, it's very difficult to compare them to people who are going to come and go. Now, I'm not saying that these artists I'm not saying artists like, what's that guy's name? We were just talking about him. What's his name?
Jay-Z?
No. I meant you just...
Ed Sheeran?
No. Who's that guy? Tyler, the Creator.
Yes.
I'm not saying.
Wait, hold on.
Even though Tyler the Creator is a wonderful artist, I think he's gonna come and go. He's not really nailed in the decade. You know what I mean?
I mean, after Flower Boy and Igor.
Like, where are you gonna go after that?
I'm not talking about the year. I'm talking about the decade. But that's a whole other standard. People like Kanye, Jay-Z, M, they stamp every decade. They're at least in there. For example, we have All of the Lights. Kanye is guaranteed in the 2000s. We have Blueprint. There's several songs on Blueprint that can be put in the decade. Same thing with artists, like Rihanna, Beyonce. I feel like they will always be not that. Just real quick, I'm not comparing Rihanna to M. I'm not saying that she's as much of a legend as him, but for her, what's that called? For her portion of the genre of hip hop, pop, whatever you want to put her in, she's high. I'll say she's not legend status, but she's very high. She's very high up there. She's been with all the legends I can think of.
She's married to one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's like
She is?
Jay-Z. She's Jay-Z's wife.
No, I said Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Not Beyonce.
I thought you meant
No, I
Beyonce.
said Rihanna.
I am so sorry. I thought you meant...
Beyonce. Honestly, I would put Beyonce in terms of like legend status. I would put her like a little under Hove. But that's.
I think they're equal.
I
think Hove and Beyonce are.
I wouldn't put her just because I feel like she's not. Maybe if we compared her like her 90s.
I mean, Lemonade came out like.
Yeah.
Come on, Lemonade came out a few years ago, and it was really good.
Looking at music from then to now, it's kind of wavy how she like kind of transitioned. I don't know.
I don't think she's making music anymore. Is she? I mean, I know
she's working on something.
The last song that she made, I think, was called "Spirit" for The Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did The Lion King, but I don't know if that counts because that was for.
So if that doesn't count, then I guess the last thing was
Lemonade.
The Carters.
Was it Lemonade?
No. Lemonade. She put out Lemonade before putting out The Carters. Everything Is Love.
I mean, like, think about it though. You know, just take that away. Lemonade? No, never mind. Just take away that stuff, right? Forget about that. In terms of, okay, let's change the conversation now. If we're gonna compare Beyonce to Jay-Z, I think it's very different. If we're talking about 90s Beyonce, 90s to 2000 Beyonce, and 90s to 2000 Jay-Z, I would put them at the same rank. I'll give you that. Because I don't know anyone who can really say that they're as everlasting as Beyonce, right? In terms of the 90s and 2000s. If you put those two together, 90s, 2000s, Jay-Z and Beyonce, yes, I would definitely say they're both on the same level. Now, it's a little different. Because now I feel like Jay-Z has been more frequent with his music. I think. I'm not sure. Not 100%. But from what I know is that Jay-Z has been producing more music. Not producing. He's been making more music. And Beyonce's kind of more on the voice acting side, if you know what I mean.
That's
She's
okay.
More
like she just made a film for Disney Plus.
Yeah,
exactly. Blending more into the film category. Now, I'm not saying she's not gonna be an artist or whatever. You know, she just did that thing with Shakira a while back. But regardless, I feel like there's this separation she's having because now she has. Not that now she has it. I think she's always had it. But now she's taking advantage of the film industry in terms of Hollywood, rather than the music side. So I'm not saying that Beyonce is, uneligible to be up there with Jay-Z. That's why I said only a little bit. You know, like, let's say out of 10, let's say Jay-Z's 10 and, 1 is, I don't know, some shitty SoundCloud artist. I would put her at like 9.9. Just because of that little bit that she's blending into The Lion King and, she's going into film and voice acting rather than music. I think the music is a product, like the song that she had or whatever from The Lion King is a product of film. It's not, I don't know the process, but from what I understand is that it's more in that realm. You know what I mean? It's more of a film thing rather than a song thing as an artist. But hey, that's just the theory.
Theory.
Let us talk about that. Good musical morning.
But here's the thing about Tyler the Creator I wanted to mention. It was more of a personal thing. Why it was sad because I love Tyler the Creator. My dad doesn't. He hates him with a passion. So I told this to Gabe. When we were in the car. We were listening. We were listening to the song that M put out, and when he made that Tyler diss, my dad's eyes widened and he said, "Oh, that's what he thinks of your Tyler. That's what he thinks of your Tyler." And I just sat there with the most straight face possible. So I'm like my dad literally cannot wrap. Man. He cannot wrap his head around the fact that I like Tyler. So
listen, that would be me because before I knew Tyler at all. Before I knew Tyler, I heard that this. I was like, God damn! But then after I heard Tyler, it was like what was the point of this? Like, seriously, what was the point? You did not have to go into Tyler and even Earl like that.
I want to show Gabe the album Igor because Gabe was like, "Yo, Earthquake is one of my favorite songs."
It's a great album.
Yeah, like, dude,
Igor is
listen,
I don't know why it
please.
took me so long to listen to it, but it was a great album.
That's a 10 out of 10 for me. That was a beautiful. Listen, for me, you know what I mean? Because Tyler is an artist that I listened to, and like I started listening to him in 8th grade, and he was pretty much one of the artists similar to Run the Jewels. He was an artist that put me through high school. So, you know, I grew up listening to
it was you who got me onto Tyler the Creator because you showed me that one song. What was it? Yonkers, I think.
Yonkers is a cool song.
Yeah.
But Yonkers, just to give you an idea, you know, what Tyler the Creator. This is the reason why I love his albums so much is that it's not just music growth, but it's character growth. Like you listen to albums like Bastard and Goblin, and then you listen to songs like Flower Boy and Igor, and you're like, yo, these are so different. Like it's still Tyler, but it's so different at the same time. Right, yeah, that is transformation. Oh, and eventually, you know,
go from that into that, then you move on bigger and bigger, and just improve yourself.
Tyler
and you won a Grammy for crying out loud.
Yeah, he won a Grammy for Igor.